Hey friends, welcome back. Today's video is a little different than the ones that I normally post. Sorry, I'm all out of breath. I'm out in the yard working on a project that has been plaguing me for about 2 months now. I had a big tree fall down in my yard, in my front yard. I'll take you around there and show it to you. But the gist of it is, I'm in Indiana. It has rained and rained and rained and rained for the last 3 weeks. And my backyard, all of my yard, is a complete freaking jungle. And on top of all of that, this tree fell down. And I do own a chainsaw. It's a little bitty electric 10-inch chainsaw. It's not very big. It's not good for like cutting whole trees apart, right? It's made for like small limbs. So when it fell, of course, it fell across the street. So the first night that I came home and discovered this gigantic mess blocking my street, I got my chainsaw out and I cut off everything that I could to get it out of the street. And then a couple of nights later, I went back out and I worked on it some more. And I've worked on it here and there, at least one night a week, every week for the last 2 solid months. And now I'm down to the trunk. And it's big. It's big, and it's too big for my 10-inch chainsaw. Today I want to talk about how sometimes the single mom life can be really hard and really overwhelming. And I don't like to talk about the negative aspects very often because the truth is, when push comes to shove, you can do anything you really can accomplish anything that you need to accomplish. I firmly and fully believe that. And I am getting it done. It's just a super slow process and it's exhausting, and like I'm a sweaty mess right now, and it's exhausting and it's daunting and it's frustrating. So let me turn you around, show you where I am. I'm currently working on burning this pile of sticks and tree parts. There's some more in my wheelbarrow, though not much because I need to cut more. There's a giant pile there, and I've already burned a giant pile that was twice the size of that a week ago. So it is a very slow process. Like I said, it has rained and rained and rained and rained for the last 3 weeks. So all the wood is really, really wet. So it's hard to get it even going to burn it and to get rid of it, which is frustrating. Normally I would just invite a bunch of friends over and we'd have a giant bonfire and we'd celebrate and make it a fun thing. And maybe I'll do that with what's left when I get down to the nitty-gritty. But right now I'm just so focused on trying to get it cleaned up because it is such a freaking disaster. My yard is also like a full-on jungle right now because it has rained and rained and rained and rained and rained. Look at all those weeds and stuff growing up against my fence line. Like, it has rained and rained and rained, and everything is so overgrown, and I have so much yard work to do, and I'm so overwhelmed by it. All right, so I'm gonna sit down here for a few minutes and we're gonna chit chat about why I'm making this particular video. First of all, I didn't introduce myself. If you're new here, I'm Jen, single mom, artist, and entrepreneur. And this channel is all about building a life that you love and doing it on your own. Now, I know some man is gonna watch this video and comment on here something to the effect of, well, I bet you wish you had a man around now. Here's the thing, I don't. I don't want someone in my life because I need their help. I want someone in my life because they add to my life. I am never gonna, and I refuse ever again to be trapped by, I don't know if I can do this on my own. Because the truth is, I can do this on my own. There is literally nothing in this world that I can't accomplish. I've seen this, there's this trend on TikTok recently where women were saying, Well, if boys can do it, it can't be that hard. And like, I know they're being kind of facetious, but the truth is, cutting up a tree with a chainsaw is not that hard. It's not. I made really quick work of the tree parts that I already cut up. I've just come to a point where I simply don't have a chainsaw that is big enough to accommodate the parts of the tree that are left. It also fell on my fence. So once I get it off my fence, I have to repair my fence again. I'm telling you, this fence is the bane of my existence because every single summer I have to repair some part of it. Either because a car hits it or a tree falls on it. It's usually because a car hits it, honestly. It's really close to the road. My ex-husband had it installed really close to the road, and it shouldn't have been installed that close to the road. It's literally been hit by cars 6 times now. 6 times since it went up, and it's been up about 10 or 12 years. Yeah, it's been hit 6 times. So at least once every other year it gets hit by a car. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So anyway, but I just wanted to talk about the fact that sometimes it is a struggle. Sometimes doing all of this on your own is absolutely a struggle, and it's not fair to pretend like it isn't. It's not fair to sugarcoat it and act like it's never a struggle and it's never overwhelming, because there are plenty of days that it is very, very overwhelming, that is very much a struggle, that it is very exhausting. And I don't ever want to discount that, because I think that acknowledging that is really, really important. My fire is stoking itself back up. That's a good thing, because I'd really like to get some of this burned down today. I just want my yard not to be a friggin' disaster. And I really want to plant my garden. I wanted to do it by Memorial Day weekend, and that was last weekend, and my garden has not been planted. I didn't get one in at all last year, and I really missed it. I mean, if nothing else, I just want fresh tomatoes. I just want homegrown tomatoes. And maybe some green beans. Like, we're not talking anything crazy. I want to get my garden in, and I don't feel like I can take the time to focus on that until I finish cleaning up this friggin' disaster that has happened with this tree. On top of that, I have another tree that, it's actually the neighbor's tree, but a giant limb broke off in a windstorm last winter. It didn't break fully off, but it cracked, and it is literally laying on top of my shed. So I need to get back there with my chainsaw and cut that limb up and get it off of the top of my shed before it crushes it. It hasn't yet, and it's been laying on it probably 9 months now. So, I mean, give me another month, gosh. Come on, Mother Nature, help me out here. Give me 1 more month to get to that tree. But I guess that's the point. Like, there are things that I want to do that I feel like I have to put off until I get this mess cleaned up, and that's frustrating because I don't like to put off my plans. And it's been raining so much, and I've been working so much that on the days that I'm home and available, and then it rains, it's so frustrating, because how am I supposed to get it done if I can't even get out here and work on it because it is raining literal cats and dogs? But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, I have burned 3 times the size of the pile that I showed you already, and burned and disposed of. Oh, and I have a bunch of logs cut for bonfires later on in the season. I should show that to you. Hang on, let's go see that. So all of this is from that tree as well. And I don't have a good place to stack firewood, so I'm stacking it on this little patio that I built right here by the hot tub. But, you know, it's okay, it works. Now you can see that some of this wood, it's like hollow in the center and rotten, because the center of the tree was hollow and rotten, which is why it eventually fell over. And that's fine. I knew that was going to happen. I just hoped I had another year or 2 before I had to deal with it. Let me go around and show you what is left of the tree and the damage to my fence. So here's what's left of my tree. Now, it was really big around. This is the base of it. And all of this was stump. So there's this part of stump still stuck to the ground, and this part. And those are small enough that I can chainsaw those. But this monstrosity that is laying on my fence is what I'm the most concerned about getting dealt with, because I know my chainsaw won't get through this. Like, it could get through pieces of it, like I could chunk this off and that'll be fine, but I can't get through all of that. That's just not gonna work with a 10-inch chainsaw. And then there's this weird giant nugget of a piece of wood, and this part of the stump I think I could get through with my chainsaw. It'll be a little difficult, but I could do it. But yeah, it's quite a mess. So I have my work cut out for me to get this finished up and taken care of. And I gotta be honest with you, it's been really, really overwhelming. I've not been in a great place about it the last few weeks. A good friend of mine offered to hire somebody to come finish it up for me. And while I really appreciate her offer, I don't feel comfortable letting her pay for it, because it's my yard and I should be able to do it. But we just enrolled Kimberly in college, and everything's gone up this year. I'm paying for car insurance for a teenager. And if you're if you're in that boat too, you will know that is not cheap at all. It's very, very expensive. And it went up this year because everybody's rates went up this year, because that's just the world we live in right now. So money's been tighter than normal. I'm going to admit that to you right here, right now. Money has been tighter than normal. And I've had a lot on my plate. And I'm overwhelmed and frustrated. And that's okay. It's okay that I am feeling that way. It is okay if you are feeling that way. We will both get through it. We will all get through it. Don't give up. Don't give up hope, because, well, I mean, really, how hard could it be? Boys do it. Thanks for joining me today. This is a short video, and I know it seems like a little rambly and a little bit of a rant, and I don't know. I just wanted everybody else to know, if you're feeling like I am right now, you're not alone. We will get through this, because we can do hard things. I'll see you next time.